Hi guys, it's Miss Sarah from the West Bank Club, and I have got Mr. Pedro with me today to talk about what he does. So, Mr. Pedro, can you explain your career and what you do?
Hey, good afternoon, Miss Sarah. Definitely glad to be able to chance to talk to you and with the kids right now in regards to what it is that I do on a daily basis here. So what I currently do is I'm a relationship manager for a local nonprofit here in the great city of St. Louis, Missouri. And what I get to do is I get the chance to talk with a lot of folks with a lot of different backgrounds, both in companies and the local communities here in the city.
So, relationship manager, does that mean that you talk to people a lot, both in person, on the phone, and over email?
Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, I get the chance to talk with a lot of folks through various different means, whether that be sending out emails every day, having phone calls every day, and up until recently, a lot more virtual meetings through our laptops these days.
There's a lot more virtual meetings happening than ever before. So, kind of moving it back a little bit, for what you do, what were your favorite subjects growing up in school, like in elementary school, middle school, high school?
Ooh, honestly, I think really the first thing that comes to mind would be PE. I just love playing dodgeball. But at the same time, I did love other subjects that I took, history being one that I was a huge fan of growing up as a kid in elementary school. At the same time, I was also a big fan of studying French back when I was in high school, just because I just was very interested in learning a different new language.
Well, so wouldn't French be your third language that you know?
Yes, as a matter of fact, my first language would be English, my second would be Spanish, and third would be French.
That's a lot. That's pretty impressive. I know some people that barely have a handle on their first language. So getting out of high school to do what you do, what kind of schooling did you need to complete? Did you go to college, technical college? Did you have to complete any graduate school?
So fortunately for me, I was able to go to college and I was able to get a good quality education. I went to LSU. Once it was time for me to go to college, I figured, hey, I'm going to go to the best school in the country. Why not? Let's. So I got my undergraduate degree at LSU. I got a degree in political science, and so it honestly was a great opportunity for me to just really, on a personal level, kick up my social skills, if that's the way to say it, just be able to interact with folks on a daily basis, knowing that what I was going to be doing today, I get the chance to meet with a lot of folks with a lot of different backgrounds. So one thing that I was able to thankfully be able to appreciate in college was it allowed me to have a great chance to get myself um, very familiar with all the different surroundings and communities that I would have to be dealing with one day.
So, would you say that what you studied in college does apply to what you're doing now, or would you say it doesn't really apply to what you're doing now?
I would say it actually applies. When I was growing up, one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to work to help people. Studying political science, it allowed me to better understand how government works, how politics works, how law works, and just how, all those are set in place for people like ourselves on a day-to-day basis can be able to fully function. Through my education and my experiences at school, I was actually able to apply with what it is I'm currently doing right now. So ultimately, what I get to do is I actually get the chance to fulfill my dream in being able to do work, meaningful work, in which I get to help out, myself personally and through our organization, help out all of the many local families and communities here in the St. Louis area to find all the type of help that they're looking for.
Well, that sounds awesome. I mean, it's really awesome that a political science that not everybody knows what that means, and it talks a lot about government and kind of how everything works together. Is there anything that you wish you had studied in school that you didn't have a chance to, or kind of missed out on at the time that you wish you could go back to?
So one thing for me personally that I wish I would have taken the time to learn while I was in college was it's simple, yet I feel a lot of people haven't really had the chance to learn about it. And that's the opportunity to be able to handle your own personal finances in a responsible manner. One of the things that I have learned through experiences, whether good or bad, was that, just as simple as being able to manage your money properly so that you can pay your bills on time, pay your credit cards, pay your rent, And then afterwards, you know, the money that you have left over, you can buy that new video game that's coming out.
I think that's really good advice for everybody, no matter what career you're in. So when did you start working in this current position? Was it directly after school? Was there kind of a little bit of like internships and working up to it?
So as a matter of fact, I actually had the opportunity to have a couple internships while I was in high school and in college. So that's when I really got to fully realize that I did want to work for an agency or an initiative really that actually goes out there and helps out folks that, you know, are looking for that help every day. So when I really started working with the current job I have right now, it was a little over 2 years ago, but I have had already a couple of years, whether it be internships or prior jobs in which I got the opportunity to fully practice or, you know, fully practice or actually just, you know, go ahead and do what it is that I do best. And that's just talking with people.
Well, what would you say, I mean, kind of talking to a lot of people, what would you say the most unexpected part of your career has been so far?
Ooh, for me, honestly, when it comes to just the unexpected that comes your way with my current role right now, every day is a new day. You think you might have everything ready and prepared for that one big meeting that's happening at the end of the week, but literally the day before, something new comes up that needs to be addressed immediately in order for things to run smoothly moving forward. Another thing that I personally think that I would consider unexpectancies, but at the same time makes work really fun for me, is just meeting all the different types of people and just how they are personally when it comes to working face to face and just getting to learn about new folks every day.
Sounds pretty cool. What would you say the hardest part is? Is it kind of that unexpected stuff that happens, or anything else you could articulate?
And so part of the unexpected and what I enjoy as well, but it's definitely not easy, is definitely being able to have that coolness and just calmness to be able to work with everybody no matter what. One of the things that my job entails for me to do is that no matter how tough or hard someone might be with me, I have to make sure that I'm still as cool and calm when I'm working with them so that we don't run into any further issues down the road.
So I do have a question, and this is because I know you. I know that you moved from Louisiana to St. Louis. If this is something like working with nonprofit organizations or a specific kind of idea that you want to work for and help the community, do you see that you would need to travel a lot or to be ready to kind of move anywhere if the opportunity arises?
Ultimately, for me personally, I think doing stuff like this is a great opportunity for someone who, let's say, grows up in the New Orleans area, but for some reason has thought about what life would be in a different part of the country or in a different part of the world, honestly. I think it's a great opportunity for someone who wants to know more about what's out there to actually go ahead and do it. And this would be the best way to do it because it gives you the opportunity to learn about the people in that new place that you'll be at, and at the same time know about what the biggest needs and necessities are in the area and what can you do as a person to be able to help out those that are in need.
That's some awesome advice. What would you say is the best part of your career? I feel like you might have already touched on it, but I want to hear you say it.
So the best part of the career, where I'm at right now, if I have to be honest with you, it's being here in St. Louis. We love sports up here. So honestly, the best thing about it is all the cool meetings and events that we get to do, going to watch the St. Louis Cardinals play baseball. And at the same time, for all you hockey fans, getting the chance to watch the St. Louis Blues play. Honestly, some of the best meetings I've ever had and some of the best events that we have had through work have been working with all the teams and the players themselves and just being able to engage and just ultimately have everybody who's involved have a great time together.
So though you live in St. Louis, your sports players behind you aren't from any St. Louis teams.
Hey, some of my favorite players, no matter where I live, are always going to be some of the greatest players that exist on this earth. If you're one of the best and you're going to college, you know very well that you're going to go play at LSU. So I have my three best friends here who I had the opportunity to watch play at LSU, and even today get the chance to watch them play in the NFL. Because if you put, your heart and soul into it and you work hard, you definitely will see all that payoff coming through one day. And I have, the opportunity to be able to watch those guys play all the time.
So if someone wanted to grow up to be Mr. Pedro, going to all the sporting events is basically for work and then really helping the community, what advice would you give them?
My first response, go to LSU. That's first. But honestly, it doesn't really matter where you go to college. I think what's most important is that you get to go and study what it is that you want to study. For me, I knew I wanted to work to help the people. Thankfully, I had the chance to do that, studying at the college that I wanted to. And ultimately, I got to, move on from that great opportunity and put in practice what it is that I learned, while at the same time, I get the chance to help out folks every day. One of the things that I have noticed by my experiences up until this point is getting the chance to meet a lot of different people from a lot of different parts of the country and the world. And for me personally, I always like to help out those. So for me, it's just, I like to meet with folks and just kind of work together with them to see what it is that we can, what we can do working together as a team to be able to help out each other and others in need.
Well, that's some great advice, and not just with that, with a lot of the stuff that you said in this call. So I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. Hopefully haven't kept you from any sporting events. And thanks so much for sharing all of your knowledge with me and the kids at the Boys and Girls Club down here in New Orleans.
Definitely. I'm definitely grateful to have the chance to speak with you, Miss Sarah. Hopefully one day both you and the kids can send out an invitation my way so I can go and visit, and hopefully we can play dodgeball. How about that?
Well, my thumb's back to working order, so we can play some serious dodgeball soon. All right. Have a good one, Mr. Pedro.
You as well. Take care.